high fidelity equipment, I find something this is ION Duodec. I've been exploring the wonders of the ION products, if one can call it that, and that's kind of a cool shot. It looks like it's massive. Look at that, how the lens distorts the record. It looks like it's like 30 inches across, right? Whereas it's actually, you know, a normal record. Huh. Interesting. So this is the ION Duodec. Let's take a look at the picture. Play and converts records and tapes. Includes built-in speaker. Yeah. I bought this on eBay. I don't know what year this came out. I'll have to check that out. But it just looks so cute. It's compatible with up to Windows 7. I guess that'll date it. Pentium 4 CPU or higher. Yeah, it's pretty old. What, 15 years old maybe? New in box. Or so they say. It comes with its own software, which obviously is, I think it's just Audacity or one of their own programs. Not that exciting, but it has a USB output and it plays records and cassettes. Okay, so that's that. And kind of cute. It has a a little arm thingy that comes up. And that protects your stylus. Oh, no, not if I do that. Okay. Oh, there's your 45 RPM adapter. Because, you know, everyone's records are dinked out, aren't they? So I like the idea of this because it's very compact. I mean, it's the size of a shoebox. And it has its own speaker. It's dual speed. 33 RPM, 45 RPM. You can put batteries in it if you want to take it on a picnic. No. But I like the fact that it's USB and that it's actually powered by a USB 5-volt supply. And you simply can either use the 5-volt supply or plug that into your computer and that will power it. The turntable is very, very tinny, but it seems to work quite well. The speed sounds good. I can't say the same for the tape. And no, I'm not taking this seriously. Of course I'm not taking this seriously. I mean, who would take this seriously, right? But I still like the little design. It's just really cute. It's definitely a cheap and nasty tape mechanism. The first tape I put in, it chewed, which I wasn't so happy about. Okay, there she goes. And the speed sounds notoriously out of you know, specification, shall we say. But kind of cute. So the idea being, if you had a collection of your vinyls or your cassettes, we got an 80s vibe going tonight. What's this one? Second Helpings, Blancmange, 1991. That's an interesting album. This is a South African pressing. And this one, Gesundheit, Kitty. You got the schnoozes. Hello. Anyway, so this one Cancelled. You may ask, why does that record say cancelled? Well, I bought a whole bunch of records back in South Africa. Well, let me rephrase that. There was a shop that bought a whole bunch of records from the South African Broadcasting Corporation. And where was I going with this? Okay, let me start again. This company bought out like the entire vinyl archives of SABC and probably in Cape Town. And then they resold these. And they probably got them for almost nothing. But I bought a lot of records. So a lot of my records are South African pressings. I paid 20 rands for that, whenever that was. Probably 20 years ago. And yeah, it's always interesting, the sort of South African pressings. Always a bit different. They're always considered quite inferior to other countries' vinyls. But I don't think they were that bad for the most part, except for the RCA stuff. That was really, really terrible. Okay, I digress. So here we got China Crisis. And this one is printed by Virgin in the UK. Right, let's see. Let's put this in, right? Shall we put this in? Haha, press play. Yes, it really does sound that bad. The first time I put a tape in, it chewed it up, but okay, this time it seems to be okay. Let's just bypass the flap. Yeah, I'm not going to hurt your ears with any more of that, but the sound of that is unfortunately very wobbly. It might just be the belt is not great. I mean, it's a new old stock, but you know, it probably could use a bit of a service. Probably fine for voice recordings, but the other interesting thing I discovered is when I connect it into stereo, you'll hear the hum. And that's because one of the connections to the head has come off. So the one channel's open. So I touch it there, you can hear it's now quiet. I didn't really pick it up till I plugged in a stereo pair of headphones. But, you know what? It's not bad for the price. It's not anywhere as good as the other ION product I tested, which was the double cassette deck, which actually produces really nice quality results. The turntable, though, I'm okay with the turntable. I like the fact that it has this nifty little doodad that goes down. I love the fact that it's so cute. It's just a cute, stupid thing. It's like that car that drives the record, or that drives around the record and plays it. I've got one of those somewhere. Let's just give it one last audition. Okay, so obviously it's got one of those crystal cartridges, or sort of high output cartridges, but it's, you know, probably good for the basic records. Listening to the output from the headphones, it doesn't sound like there's any equalization being put on it, so it just sounds very tinny, which is a shame, because they were so close to actually making a decent product. I'll let you be the judge. There you go. I can even mix it. He might be over there, he might be underground. God ain't in my kitchen. God ain't in my room. God ain't anywhere. Now there's no sort of up-down facility. That would be pushing the envelope. But not terrible, I'm sure you'd agree. Sorry about that. Oh. Whoa. You know what? If you're going to just archive a couple of old voice records, this is good enough. It can sit on your desk. Doesn't take up any space at all. It has no kind of shock vibrations of any kind. So basically, you know, it's a real meat and potatoes kind of turntable. But I just can't help but like it. This is a little vinyl, not a vinyl. This is a little silicon sort of mat. But I'm impressed. That's really, really nice. Oh, you're not going to need any Van der Waals cables for this, though, I'm afraid. That's that's for somebody else. But you know what? Anything that keeps people interested in the format, as horribly inferior as it is to digital, I say, why not? So I think for the 20-something pounds I paid for it, including shipping, it's not bad. There we go. Now it has its own little lockdown situation. And there you go. A bit of fun for an ION Duodec. And that's me for now. Bye-bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed that ridiculous look at something I really love. I mean, it's awful. It's really awful. It sounds horrible, but it has a certain form factor that, for me, is somehow nostalgic. When I was a little guy, once upon a time, many years ago, I had a little Sanyo stereo radio record player, and it had two little one-way speakers. And that was my first hi-fi. And I loved that stereo, boy. And I guess this thing reminds me, even though it's vastly inferior to even that Sanyo, with the exception of the fact it's got the USB out, it kind of reminds me of a simpler time when you know, it was just great fun to listen to records. And buying a record a week was like a big deal, a 7 single, which is what I used to do. And with AV transfers, it's not just about doing transfers, it's about the nostalgia as well. I get it. I know the nostalgia of these old formats, and it's not just about what's on them, it's just the way they are, right? Reels turning around, needles going up and down. It's just interesting, it's fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this rather bizarre, off the normal belt of things. You know, I've got a lot of things I need to go through and review, and that was just what was on the top of the pile, so I just grabbed it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and stay tuned. And in fact, if you like these videos and my take on things, then please subscribe. Always need more of those. For now, thanks for watching. This is Howard of avtransfers.co.uk saying bye for now. I guess you're wondering how long I can sit and stay still like that for. Just checking. Okay, bye for now.